My name is Darren Smith, and I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm from Sioux City, Iowa, and I went to the University of Iowa for chemistry, and University of Iowa for medical school, and University of Iowa for residency. I loved science, and I went into chemistry. My mother worked at the hospital in Sioux City, so I had some experience with medicine. And I loved the science part of it, chemistry, but I was more interested in actually having direct contact with people so that I could experience helping them rather than more of an indirect use of science. In medical school, we did rotations to see what area we would be interested in. I thought I'd be interested in cardiovascular surgery, but I rotated with a neurosurgeon in Sioux City, Iowa, and I was just fascinated. He did brain surgery, neck surgery, back surgery, carotid surgery, the whole gamut, and I thought, this is what I want to do. It's a lot of putting together clues. It's like a mystery. Somebody comes in with something in there, all different variations. And they might seem similar, but they take a lot of thinking through to solve that problem, and then being able to actually then do the solution yourself. So you've solved the problem, and then you're able to fix the problem if you can correctly diagnose it. I like to listen to patients. I think that the clues of what's going on come from the patient themselves. Most of the time I see patients, these things have been going on for quite a while. And it gets complex because they've seen lots of different specialists. And it gets confusing because the problems overlap. So say I see a patient with a neck problem, there's shoulder problems that overlap with that. There's headache issues that are involved too, and facial cranial nerve issues. Or somebody with a low back that also has hip problems and knee problems. There's multiple overlapping problems, and a lot of times patients have more than one issue. It's part teasing that apart and figuring out which part I can fix, which part is their main problem. And that only comes through talking with them. I think a large part of medicine is educating patients. And so what I do is not only listen to them, but also educate them from my specialization and my experience of what their problem is. They know what their symptoms are, they know what's bothering them, but they don't know what the underlying problems are or what the studies show. So I'll demonstrate MRIs to them. And that's a difficult thing for people to understand in general, so trying to make it so that your average patient can understand what these films are showing, what the laboratory studies are showing, and how it all comes together so that we can have a reasonable expectation of what kind of outcome to expect. I like the outcome. I mean, it all comes down to setting the stage for that we all are on the same page so that we know what to expect and what the chances are of a good outcome. And if we can do all those steps leading up to the actual surgery and then the follow-up, we get very good outcomes, and then patients are very satisfied. And that was the goal all along of why I went into medicine. I want to help people. I don't want people to go away dissatisfied. And so when we have the follow-up exams after surgery or follow-ups after hospitalization, and they come to me and they get their questions answered and they can move on with their lives, it's very satisfying. I think of the mercy touch, it's like the golden rule. It's like treat others as you would want to be treated. So we want to be treated with compassion. We want to be treated as people, not just a number, not just as somebody going through and next. And that permeates the whole hospital. Everybody you see in the hospital has that kind of mercy touch goal. So they want people to understand that they're being treated as they would want to be treated themselves. And that's what I look at patients like how my mother would want to be treated, or how I would want my mother or father to be treated, or how I want my children to be treated. I've got a wife and 6 children, and so for the last 20 years I've spent that time mostly with them. We like to do outdoor activities. My son plays baseball. I like to garden. I like to do outdoor things. I like to take care of the yard. You know, it's relaxing.